Well, I mean, I think the two tips are basically gig a lot, write a lot. That's it. Gig and write, and don't be a dick. I mean, that's the three things you need: gig a lot, write a lot, try and turn over your material, and don't be a dick. Because you'll find that who gets you work are other comics. Other comics will recommend you to promoters, and they'll only recommend you if they're good. You know, I had friends who weren't very good. I would never recommend them because comics don't do that because it reflects badly on you. And you recommend people because they're good and also because they're not dicks. You know, if you've got, you know, when I, you know, if you've got, I've been asked to book a lot of comedy nights over the time. If you've got to spend 3 hours in a car journey, there, 3 hours back, I don't care how funny somebody is. If they're a dickhead, I ain't booking them. Do you know what I mean? It's like life's too short. And so, yeah, I think that's the three rules: just gig, write, and just don't be a dick.
How am I doing so far?
I don't know. Well, I can't know about your writing. But you know what I mean? It's like but I think that's the same in any business, and it is weird sometimes that. And also, don't just be like. Sometimes you get people that they're nice to other comics, they're nice to promoters, but they're dicks to the other people in the club. Don't be dicks to other people in the club. That is, I personally find that really annoying, and also it's very short-sighted because like in a lot of clubs, all the people in the club report back. Will report back. I know someone, an open spot, who was really rude to the sound guy, dismissed them, tech, not interested. Didn't realise that the sound guy writes the show reports. You know, and then had a bad gig. And I know this guy, he's a really nice guy, you know, and it's like, why are you being such a dick to that person? You know? And also you don't know, the person who's, I don't know, who's sorting out the tickets, you know, maybe the manager in a couple of years' time. You know, and people remember people who have been shit to them. You know?
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you know. I always know I've had a good gig when like security or someone who's working on the door comes up to me and says I've had a good gig. Because they've seen so much stuff that they tend to switch off. And you think if they really like it and they think it's funny, you've done well. You know, if you get the seriously going, that was a really good gig, you're like, oh my goodness. You know, I supported it was a brilliant job, the Naked Magicians for a month, Trafalgar Studios. And I used to like banter for 10 minutes and do 10 minutes of material. And the ushers used to watch every day. And I was like, and I knew that was to me that was a great sign because they've seen my act. They could just go off in the hall or somewhere, but they, you know, they would come in and watch. And I thought, well, yeah, I'm doing well here. So be nice to people and don't be like people. Don't be dicks to the MC. That's another bad move. Because often, if you're a regular MC at a club, you know, you're often the eyes and ears of the promoter. He will say, "Oh, how did so and so do?" You know, and you report back.
Yeah.
You know, it's a business, and I think you know, comics can be very supportive. You know, a lot of them. You know, they will have. You know, because you know, when you write to promoters, you're just another email half the time. You know, they'll ignore you, and it's nothing personal. It's just, you know, you're another email in their inbox. But if a comic goes, oh, you know what, I saw Marvin, he was really good, you should give him a tryout. It means when you write in next, they go, oh yeah, you know what I mean? You've got more of a chance.
Hmm. Yeah, it's yeah. Well, one thing I found, like with marketing gigs as a whole, the soft approach works better than just the straight digital marketing. It means so much more. Right? I've seen there's so many people come back to shows because someone's recommended it rather than anything else. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you've got a small night. I mean, I ran small nights. I knew almost everybody by name, you know, because they felt invested in the show.
Yeah.
You know, it's really easy to, you know, it's the other way around. It's hard to, you know, used to have a really good audience. It's really hard to get an audience. It's really easy to lose them. You
Oh,
know,
yeah. Yeah, I see it so many times. I mean, I've seen it with so many stars that I've seen. Like they say one thing, like True Geordie said something that was a bit iffy, or you see lots of social media stars that they say one thing and then they boom.
yeah. I mean, that's a problem with social media, isn't it? Because people can always say something, and you know, it can be misconstrued, or
Yeah.
you know, you didn't think, you misspoke or whatever.
Yeah, I'm sure if you recorded every conversation of every human being on earth, you would find something that's a bit iffy.
Yeah, and we all say stuff like, there's nobody's not said something they would not want put in public. Do you know what I mean?
Not a single person.
No, I mean, just absolutely isn't.